Alright, what's up everybody? It's Lids and we're back for some more Pyre Community Right Night, which means of course some good old-fashioned multiplayer Pyre, featuring first and foremost none other than the members of the Right Club Discord server, the place for all things multiplayer Pyre. And if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then that is the place to be, and you can join said Discord server by clicking on that link right there. But those of you in chat, you are not off the hook. No, because you see the red circle with the white L below chat. You click on that, you'll find all the various requests that you can make today, including things ranging from selecting players' exiles, masteries, songs, arenas, even Titan stars, are all fair game. So, without further ado, let's hop into versus mode here. Let's reset ourselves to our defaults, and then we will be ready to go. I'll jump into Discord, but let me know if there is anybody from chat who would like to get us started today. How's everybody doing? What's up, Proxy? How are you? Let me hop into Discord. Okay, let's see. I am in. Alright. Do we have any takers? Anyone who would like to get us started today for our first matches of the night? Similarly, of course, if there are any requests that we would like to do to lead things off, we can do that as well. But, of course, may choose to give our leading duo a chance to warm up a little bit first. That is up to you, though. What's up, Cacao? How are you? How's everybody doing? We are looking for a couple of people here to lead us off today. So if anyone is interested in doing that, just let us know. Alright, now everyone's just gonna Pam. Alright, everyone, get it out of your system. Get it out of your system, everybody. Pam, wave, please. Pam, wave, please. Hello? Hello? Good to see you, too. Good to see you, too. What's up, Arrakis? Just waiting for Core to pull up and stomp. We shall see. We shall see. I don't know. That sounds like a bit of a challenge there. Sounds like a little bit of pressure being put on Core here to deliver. Core's like, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this attention right now. Does that mean the audience is slow chanting? Core, 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 Core. I don't know. We need a couple people here. Will Core be someone to step up to the plate? I don't know. Will he live up to his name or succumb to the pressure? Or will he just say, no, Lids, I'm not available yet, I need to play later? That's also, I guess, a possibility too. Valid. Well, we shall see. Alright, don't everybody volunteer at once, okay? I know everyone is eager. Okay, I take that to mean Core is looking to hold off a little bit before he jumps in. He needs to have someone else build up the audience first. He needs someone to lead. iRotor is good for a couple of matches, but then is going to have to swap out relatively soon thereafter. I mean, I think that's perfectly alright. I think that's fine. Oh, let me get Steam Remote Play, or Steam Friends up real quick. Here we are. Okay. iRotor. Cacao also available later, but not yet. Alright, well somebody needs to get in here to face off against iRotor. I know everybody's feeling a little bit sheepish today, perhaps, but I promise you, iRotor isn't that scary. Phaler will jump in. All right. There we go. That'll be our starting matchup then. Let me track down Phaler here as well. Once he eventually pops up on Steam. Will I send him the... And Orokus can hop in later, but it'll be your first time. Okay, so happy to get you in. One thing that you will need to do beforehand, though, is you will need to send me a Steam friend request. And my Steam friend code should be in the Discord pinned messages. So if you find those pinned... no, I was about to say. It's gonna be, who's gonna win the race? Me sending an invite to Phaler or Phaler requesting to view the broadcast, and as soon as I saw Phaler's icon pop up, he immediately sent the request to view the broadcast. He beat me to it. I was ready, and he still beat me. Well done, Phaler. Oh, but the icon went away, though. It didn't usually go away in the past. Okay, no big deal in that case. Alright, but yeah, Orokus, if you just send me a Steam friend request, you should find my Steam friend code, which is all you need to do that, in the pinned messages in the Black Wagon channel. And it looks like, yeah, we will be all set for Iroder and Phaler for a couple matches here. Can I just get confirmation from you two as to who's player 1 and who is player 2, and then we'll set everything up properly?
My controller was not getting recognized properly at the moment.
Oh, I know why. Because mine was plugged in.
I'm controller 3, Iroder's controller 2. So that's interesting.
I've now unplugged my controller, which may have changed things.
No controller in the Steam settings for you, Phaler.
That is odd. Yep. Phaler's controller may or may not exist, according to Steam.
I also just got disconnected, so that's interesting.
Oh, okay. Well, honestly, that might be for the best, because I'll re-invite you, and maybe now that my controller's not plugged in, Steam will get its act together. Anor will not be participating, but she will be lurking today. Okay. Any better this time around, Phaler?
We will see. Momentarily.
We do have a preset song request from Anor.
I think it has nothing to do with your connection, everything to do with that your controller just not recognized by Steam on your side.
Yeah, this is weird.
It sure is plugged in properly.
It really does not think you have a controller.
I'm now physically unplugging and replugging my USB cable on my PC, so it damn well better have one.
No, it's
Okay.
on.
Oh, did it? Did it just start? Oh, well. Now it has the controller drift, you know.
Lots of script. I love it. Alright, classic me. Alright, here we go.
Alright, and Phaler's player 1?
That I am.
Okay. And will it be withdrawn for you today, Iroder?
Yes.
Okay. There we are. Okay, let me just set you guys up here
We really
then.
should make a mod to disable this guy's reset button.
Yeah, we were talking about it a while ago, and I thought that we made some progress on it, but
I think it would actually be really easy. It's probably just removing one line that just controls what the reset button does. Just make it a button that does nothing.
It could be that it's handled entirely engine side because it's a
It definitely isn't. Like, I know where the Lua binding for it is, I'm almost sure.
Oh.
But we'll handle that later.
alright. Well, there we go. We have you
Hey,
two set up now, and right on cue, immediately upon tapping back in, I have accidentally hit the reset button. Case in point as to why that would potentially be useful. Also, Customize has been turned off for Iroder for some reason, and Iroder has become a CPU with a strength of 1. No, do not press that commence button. Okay, hold on. We had Glade of Lu as well. Hold on. Unless somebody else made that change, or unless we happen to get a random Glade of Lu, which, yeah, I doubt. Let's get that. Okay, and I believe that is now everything. Yeah, we have...
Reset theme?
Oh, and the song. Yes.
Exile.
There we go. Alright. So, Iroder and Phaler to lead things off here today. No requests affecting your team composition.
You are gathered at the Glade of Liu. Each of you seeks to be free from this forsaken land. Only the righteous shall emerge victorious. The Fate stand prepared. The withdrawn stand prepared. Who shall conduct the rites?
Alright. As for saying, no specific requests regarding your team composition, so that is all up to you. So Phaler will start things off with a quick...
Make quickly replug my controller.
Nope. Quick throwing Savage on Phaler's side. The Snadras have been acquired. Iroder going with a speedy Udmilda. Now, despite technically Udmilda being the captain of Iroder's team, we don't see him take Udmilda very often, despite that.
Exile.
Web Lanthorn Raji in the second spot for Phaler, that of course being the second of 3 Fate members. Will he go with his full Fate team? That of course remains to be seen. But we will find out soon enough. Whereas this time, a quick throwing, unblockable throw for Fritz, so 2 Chromes on Iroder's side, and that also included the Chrome Salute, allowing Iroder to transform all of Phaler's Exiles into defenseless Howlers once during this upcoming rite.
Buffett has the cars. Okay, that.
Are there any Chromes in the campaign that have that mastery?
Cars? No. I don't think of it as. Not any of associates.
Choose someone.
And after some consideration, Phaler goes for a speedy Messenger Imp. That is not a combination that we tend to see all that often. And an Imp in the last spot for Iroder as well. And here we are with our first match of the night. Phaler getting started with Almer, teleporting to the orb and banishing Udmilda in the process, but a quick counterattack here from Iroder. His throw, though, is wide, unblockable though it may have been. It was not on target. War of the Imps for a second there. Iroder back on the orb, though. Not for long. Speaking of Imps, now Udmilda. Taken out. But Iroder back on it. Phaler teleports to the orb, though. Throwing it in with Almer. Once again, Almer teleporting, sacrificing himself, but taking out Udmilda in the process.
the withdrawn.
And that leaves Iroder defenseless, and Phaler,
Confronts the flame.
that speedy imp, goes in for the slam dunk.
The orb is taken.
Phaler again. Oh, and the throw is inches short. Chance now for Iroder. But Almer has it back. Eyeing the portal. But Iroder is eyeing the pyre. Iroder breaks out that crone salute, so Phaler unable to defend this one. Iroder actually a little bit short on the throw. But second attempt hits the mark.
The fates seem to be falling behind. None left unscathed.
Udmilda straight in.
Udmilda sets herself ablaze.
And that drops Phaler down to 10 pyre life here.
Once more like that, and we are finished here.
So one score, likely all that Iroder would need, but he is now without Udmilda. After having plunged with her.
Audacious, aren't we?
He's still the only defender, though he does bring back forfeit in the process. But here comes Phaler. Slightly quick on that throw there. Not quite the full damage. And Almer not able to follow up with another score after that, as he's taken out. But there is the winning plunge, and it is Udmilda to take the win.
They thrust aside their adversaries without too much trouble. Thus end this night's proceedings.
GG. Well played, you two.
Only
Let's head
do
on
one
back.
more. Do you want to do no customize?
Right.
Let's reset the arena. You said you may want to turn customize off? Was that a question posed for Phaler?
That's a question to Phaler. But like we have a talisman request, so
We do have a talisman request for the talismans that we think look good. We will also have a preset mastery, or rather preset theme, for this one as well. I suppose it is just about impossible to go with customize off with the talisman request. But we could build upon that request with other things if we would like to see them. This does seem as though it will be Iroder's last match. So if there is anything else we'd like to see between Phaler and Iroder, this will be our last chance to make it happen. Does also mean we'll likely be looking for someone else to swap in for Iroder after this match. But seeing nothing else, request-wise, let's get this one started. Well, we were talking a lot about the imps last time,
Now face the withdrawal.
and it looks like we will this time as well. The Isle of Caelimar is the location,
Who shall conduct the rites?
so regardless of whether the players choose to add an imp to their team or not, the imps will still play a factor in this match.
Doesn't look that good.
Does it look good? Phaler apparently says yes, unless we have convinced him otherwise.
I think they're all not that very impressive.
I mean, in general, the style of Pyre, and of any Supergiant game for that matter, visually, is certainly quite good. Though, that's not to say that there are not still particularly impressive examples. Of stylish-looking talismans. Phaler
I
does.
like the way the Star Splinter looks. It looks like, I don't know, like a, not like a gemstone exactly, but like an opal or something. I guess that's it, is a gemstone, but still.
Alright, chat, you know we're gonna have to choose. Once both players have selected all of their talismans, we will have to determine which team has the more stylish set of talismans. And that is, let's be honest, that's far more important than the outcome of this, right? So watch carefully. We will need your vote
Tizo.
at the end of the selection process. That's a Haum's Wing for Iroder. Star Splinter thus far, the only selection for Phaler. So break out your scorecards. Start making your tallies. Phaler goes Tailwind Crest with an Imp. Once again here, he did do that in the previous match as well. So Star Splinter, Tailwind Crest on Phaler's side. Iroder now going Dying Flame with his second selection. Phaler's final choice here. Has he been saving the best for last? And he goes Bright Wisp on a worm. That looks it's a little familiar to me. That was his final talisman selection. So, get your grade ready for Phaler on his talisman choices. Just how stylish were they? Be ready to compare that score to that of Iroder. Because he chooses Astral Eye with his final selection, so let us know, chat, which set of talismans proved to be the more stylish. As we were saying, that is, of course, significantly more important than the outcome of this, right? Though Phaler is the one getting things started here with a 25 damage throw. One vote in Iroder's favor for the stylishness of the talismans, but the vote is still being counted. Iroder, oh, makes it all the way through there, and Dying Flame active for the extra 8 damage.
The withdrawn gained the upper hand.
Phaler's throw was quick, but it was also short. Tizo has that Haum's Wing.
Sad for the withdrawn.
Phaler has that quick throw.
Shall the fate press their luck, perhaps?
Ulmer taken out here. The Stunning Claim, stunning everyone. Now Iroder back in possession.
Good.
Tizo avoids one cast and makes it in there with the Inner Glory. That's 25 rather than the usual 15 damage. Iroder well timed on that initial jump in with the salute from Ulmer, although Phaler wins it back and gets an almost full damage throw on that occasion. And oh, well, Phaler was saving his ace up his sleeve, that crone salute to enable the winning score.
The fate prevails. Perhaps they do deserve their freedom.
GG.
It's alright.
The right is complete.
Alright, well, in that case, it does appear as though the winner of the right was Phaler. But the winner of the talisman competition was Iroder. So who was the real winner, you know? I'll leave that up to you. Alright, but iRotor had said that he needed to head out, so thank you for stopping by, iRotor. Good to have you. We will need someone else to take his spot here. Is there anyone from chat who would like to hop in? Phaler, assuming you are still good to stick around, we can have them face off against you. Okay, great. Let's reset our song, but otherwise... Okay, iRotor will still be watching, but is unavailable to play any further. So, of course, we could still have further requests from chat if there is anything we'd like to see for this one, although we have yet to determine who the second player facing off against Phaler will be this time, so let us know if anyone would like to jump in here to take that spot. I know we had at least a couple of people who I think had said that they were available, just not at the very beginning, so I don't know if enough time has passed that they can now jump in, or if they need a little more time before they can join us. Do we have anyone here to face off against Phaler? I think it was both Core and Cacao who had stated that they were interested, but not available at present, at least that being a couple of rights ago, and Arokas had expressed interest as well, although is not yet Steam friends with me, I don't think. Cacao says he needs about 15 minutes. Okay, well that's, you know, maybe another right or two. Arokas... Oh, Core says he needs 5 minutes. That may be a small enough gap that we could get Core in here, but let me see. Arokas says that they have sent me a Steam friend request. That appears to be it. I have accepted. And so, for that reason, we may be able to get Arokas in here. Maybe that's the direction that we ought to take here. Then we don't need to be as concerned about our Core or Cacao available, or do they still need a little more time? Give the match 2 minutes tops. Well, we'll see. We'll see. If you're interested, Arokas, I think we should be able to get you in now. Does that work for you? Sure? Alright. In that case, I will send you an invite on Remote Play. You should get a little pop-up in a second as soon as I track you down. There you are. Huzzah. And Arokas, do you prefer to play on mouse keyboard or on controller? Only have keyboard? Okay. So for what it's worth, we can only have one keyboard mouse player playing at a time, but Phaler is on controller, so not a problem this time around. Just may affect if we're trying to get someone else in to face off against you. There may be some people who we cannot have matched up against you. But which triumvirate would you like to be today? Which triumvirate would you like to be today?
Would you prefer I just hop in here?
You can if you'd like.
Hello.
That works. Hello.
Let me mute the stream real quick. Alright.
Okay. So yeah, do you have a preferred triumvirate that I should put you as here?
I mean, I gotta represent the Nightwings.
Okay. Nightwings it is then. Nightwings it is. Let me put on your
Pouring out for the
sigil
boys.
as well.
Unfortunately, it's not letting me say let's go.
Oh.
I
From
think
one
because you
Nightwing
are
to another.
Using keyboard.
Let's see. We go there. Okay, let's double check real quick. Just make sure that these controls look right to you for mouse keyboard, because we may have had them modified.
I use WASD presets, so I'm fine with that.
There we go. All right, WASD presets it is. Okay. And song is Arokas' choice. Is there any particular song that you would like us to do for this one?
I do love me some chastity theme.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Think of Grand Ceremony?
Any fellow Grand Ceremony enjoyers in chat? It looks like that is it request-wise for the time being.
So
what-
real quick, my Steam Remote Play appears to not be working. Can't interact with anything.
You are player 2, which may
Was it
be
a
the reason for
message?
that.
Just
Point, let's
saying
check
that
your
it's
connection to
not
make sure you've done that
saying
right.
I need a controller.
Oh, yes, in that case I know it. I know what the issue is. Huzzah. Now you should be fine. Yes, keyboard controls indeed. Now that should be much better.
Yes. It's not letting me say let's go though, so it's has a pop-up in the way.
Hmm? Not sure what that's about.
Let me try leaving and coming back.
Okay.
So if you would please re-invite me.
No problem. Invite sent.
Yeah, I don't think it likes the fact that both you and I have a keyboard plugged in.
Shouldn't be an issue, as that's always the
He
case.
led you also, we just hit enter for him.
Yeah, I can get the match started, and then why don't we see once we're on menus and whatnot and actually
Sure.
getting the right started? I imagine we'll be fine.
I just die instantly because I can't control anything.
You know.
The fate
Oh,
shall
we are back on the
take
glade.
The Night Wings. Welcome.
Okay, so no requests.
Who shall conduct the rites?
No requests for your team composition here. This is Phaler on this end, and then we will have Arokus on the right side for player 2. Phaler starting with a Titan Tooth on Rookie. There you go. There you go. Alright. Well, fellow Worm Enjoyer.
Just a little bit.
Sir Gilman.
Okay. Phaler. Was thinking about the campaign accurate Barker,
The lore accurate Barker.
but instead goes for the exploding Barker.
And just before you yell at me, I discovered this before I discovered the meta build.
No worries, no worries. It is a meta Jody, I believe that was, and that is cur number 3 for Phaler with, I believe that was Prayer Beads on Dalbert in the final spot.
I will match your prayer bead.
Prayer Beads for Prayer Beads. Pamitha in the final spot for Rokus, and this is the first match for Rokus in the Right Club, so welcome to the Right Club. Phaler stunning with that Titan Tooth and following up with a quick cur jump into the pyre for 20.
Rookie doubts to the adversary's flames.
Goes straight in this time. And loops around.
I told you it'd be like 2 minutes. I think I'm gonna go even faster than that.
Phaler this time going past the pyre and banished. Arokus defending the orb, although Phaler wins it back momentarily. Arokus with Pamitha. Switches into Jody, but Jody taken out. Phaler hops in.
Doubts to the adversary's flames. Now end the ceremony
And takes it with a cur plunge.
Got me.
The fate prevailed. It was as though the scribes themselves
Man, what a
stood by their
throwback.
side.
GG. Triple doggo at it again. Indeed. Some may call it a tradition.
until the stars align.
Some may even call it a glorious tradition. Eh?
I really got hounded there.
Alright, well, let us reset ourselves here, but let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. And let me just... Baylor, for some reason, you're quieter than usual. Yeah, last week you were quieter than usual. I bumped you all the way up to 200%, and you're still pretty quiet. I don't know why that is. Now, I probably have welcomed Failure to amp up his volume 3 times over, and now, next thing he said is gonna be deafening.
Yeah, blow out our speakers.
Drop that bass.
Well, I didn't hear it there, but he may break it out when we least expect it now. So is there anything else we'd like to see here between Phalar and Arrokus for our next match? Not seeing anything from chat at the moment. So let's jump in. Oh, hold on.
The fate versus
That there is the boat. Oh wait, Anor didn't, hold on. Anor had something that she requested previously that she did proactively. And I'm pretty sure I missed it, because she did it a while ago,
No, I
didn't
think
she?
it was right after you loaded.
Wait, for the next one, it's the talismans that
It's
look
for the
good.
next one, Lids. We can ignore it for now.
Okay, okay.
who shall conduct the rites?
Oh, well, well, well. We do be on the boat. We do.
You know, I don't know what that means, but at the same time, I think I just kind of full send it and go for a really silly build.
We do be on the boat.
Koralek.
Okay, I thought I remembered seeing you request something in Or in the right as we were starting up a previous match, and I thought I'd forgotten it and lost it.
Demon.
Is a right light for some rekindling on Snadra. I must tell you, I have been checking the radar, and today's forecast is cloudy with a high chance of demon.
Yeah, I'm just kind of gonna do my own thing and hope it works out for me.
That is fair. That is fair.
Sir Gilman.
It's Gilman with a legendary talisman for extra jumping distance, and here we are for our second showdown between Phalar and Arrokus. Snadra getting the banishment there, and Snadra on the orb, though she's quickly banished herself. And, oh, Gilman nearly sneaking through there in between the demon defenders, and Snadra sent flying in the opposite direction across the puddle. In the midst of all that, Phalar hopping in there with Vizpaleth. Now Jody, she's taken out by Snadra. Ignarius gets rid of Snadra. But the orb remained unclaimed, so Gilman sped in there and threw it in for an unblockable 15. Though we did just see Phalar took the starting Pyre Life on all of his demons. So he has a lot of Pyre Life, and can deal a lot of damage with those Demon Plunges, of course. 30 on that occasion. That time with Jody. A little bit of extra airtime there, though certainly not competing for Air Orlek's Air Supremacy title. Speaking of whom.
Orlek flung the orb into the flame.
And they both go speeding past the orb that time, but Phaelor gets a little bit of extra airtime on his way in for this 30 damage plunge. Once again with Jody. Is Paleth. Nearly leapfrogged the defender.
How comical.
But now suddenly, Phaelor defenseless. And time for Arokus, plenty of time at that, to move in with Orlek.
A true aimed thrust into the fire.
See, this would be perfect time to have Brazen Head.
The orb is up. Oh my word.
There is Viz Paleth. 30 on the plunge once more.
Your victory is at hand.
This time a cast off. And Phaelor threads the needle. But there is the rekindling from that bright light. So Arokus holding on here on the second life bar. But one more score, of course, at least from a Demon Plunge, would be sufficient for Phaelor. So perhaps that's what he's looking for here. As he moves in once again with Ignarius. Oh, but he is stopped just shy of the pyre.
Oh,
Opening perhaps for Gilman. Arokus' throw lands
threw it in.
for another 15. Snapdra gets rid of one demon. But here comes the other.
And it is done.
In for the win.
The fate prevailed. And what a crushing victory it was.
GG.
Thus end this night's
GG indeed.
proceedings.
Well played, you two. And let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Alright, let us know, chat, if there is anything that we would like for this next one between Phaelor and Arokus.
Or
We
if
had-
anyone wants to block in.
Yes, we had a Norse, I believe it was Will of the Scribes for the song. Although now Core's trying to do Knights of the... I'm afraid you're too late, Core. You are too late. Okay. Anything else, though, beyond the song? Or will that be all? Rogue the Virus, what's up? How are you doing? We are no longer playing Mass Effect today. Today we are doing some Pyre, which is like fantasy magic basketball with books. If that sounds crazy, it's because it kind of is. Maybe a little bit. But let's hop in here. It's like Mass Effect, but more basketball and more reading, sort of.
I mean, it really is like fantasy Mass Effect if you think about it.
Shall confront
Has mass and it has
the
the
Night Wings. Welcome. Who
If anything,
shall
I would say
conduct
the previous match,
the rites?
in which we saw some serious alternate physics on the magical boat, was perhaps the most Mass Effect-like.
Alma.
Well, what do you know? I was gonna also do Ulmer.
So we have both players choosing their teams, 3 players aside, each of whom will select their skills and their talisman, their item, all of which will affect their capabilities in this match.
Exile.
They will run and pass the orb around amongst each other and try to either run it in, jump it in, or throw it in to the opposing fire or pyre. and deal damage to that fire or pyre in the process. Whichever pyre is depleted down to 0 first, well, that side loses. Well, you are depleting your opponent's pyre. When you've depleted your opponent's pyre, you win. Only one player on each team can move at a time, so they must decide who that player ought to be. And in Phaler's case, he teleported to the orb, sidestepped, and threw it in almost instantly with Ulmer, and looks to do so again here. Phaler, third time's the charm. No, he will be stopped on this occasion, but so will Iroquus. Although banishes 2 of the defenders, oh, but the throw is just short. Phaler, oh, tried to teleport to the orb, but he's immediately taken out. Same with Iroquus' character, though. Now certainly more of a defensive and also pinball showing on this occasion. Dalbert just needed a little bit more time to get his stamina back before he could jump out of danger. Speaking of jumping out of danger, Ulmer, oh, he's stopped short. Phaler also stopped before he could get the score, but then he teleports to the orb stationed behind the pyre, setting up for a quick throw once again with Ulmer. Ulmer banishes and gets banished. Now the stowaway, though, as Numbing Gust takes effect, preventing Phaler from sprinting, jumping, throwing, and using any other special event abilities momentarily, but did eventually find a way through with that stowaway, plunging for 20. That means no stowaway in this round, though, but Phaler doesn't mind. He throws it in with Ulmer, now back at full strength. Ulmer again. Can't find a way around Volfred. Volfred taken out, and Phaler tries to snipe, but is interrupted. Dalbert stopped short. Ulmer makes it through here for another 20. Did Iroquus take any rekindling with Volfred? If so, then there may be a second life bar. If not, then Phaler may just need one more score here. It won't come from Ulmer, at least not this time. The stowaway, though, for just 8 damage, Iroquus holds on here. Phaler looking to finish the job, though. Banishes with his throw. And there is the rekindling. It's 10. So Iroquus hanging on by a thread. Phaler seals the deal.
The fate prevailed. They overwhelmed their adversaries utterly.
GG.
The right
I do
is
appreciate
done.
how much you subscribe to the idea of triumvirate, the 3 being the 1, because you keep triple classing me.
Hey, it's not every day that people let me do not the meta.
Until the stars align.
Not much in the way of exile requests yet today. That is true. And we had a Knights of the
Core
Sea.
is looking to jump in, right?
I think Core and Cacao had said at some point they were interested, and you know, we don't need to force either of you out here, but if either of you would like to swap, we may have people who are now available to do so. Up to you two.
I'm good to hop out for now. Keep things fresh.
Alright, up to you. If you would like to do so, then perhaps we could get either Core or Cacao in here.
All right,
And thanks for
now
stopping
that's
by.
me.
Good to have you.
Yeah. It was fun, Faye.
Yeah, GG's. Well played.
Core says he is down, or Cacao. Core is first to respond. And for that reason, perhaps the tiebreaker goes to Core. Unless Cacao has some convincing case to be made. But I think we get Core in here in that case. I think we get Core in here. Alright. Invite should be sent, Core. Theoretically. If remote play is to be trusted. Which it isn't. I had a sinking feeling that one did not go through. Okay, invite resent. That sounds more promising. Once we get you in core, let's just verify if Phaler is still player 1 or if Pyre has decided to switch you two up. Okay, I take that to mean Phaler is still player 1 and Core is player 2?
Yes.
Okay, let me get in your information then. This is now Core. And by the looks of things, Core, you will be going Pyre Hearts today, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Alright. That it shall be. Okay. We have a song. Don't think we have anything else yet request-wise. Did we swap that? Was it Moon Touch that was next on the list? That did not sound familiar. Hold on.
Knights.
Yeah, Knights. I think that got switched.
I think Anor had a request. Favorite exiles.
Let me double check. Yeah, favorite characters in order. Favorite exiles in order. Okay. Now, of course, there's no right answer to that question, but then again, there are probably still some wrong answers.
My favorite is Messenger.
I mean, that's fair.
Fate shall confront the Pyre Hearts.
Oh, this is not a good match. My favorite.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the
Find
rites?
a new favorite character.
In order, their favorite characters. For Phaler,
Dalbert.
it's Dalbert first. Core's case, it's Gilman first. Number 2. Fate member number 2, Almer. While for Core, it is Snadra. Phaler finishes with quick throwing Ninja Stowaway as his third favorite character. Third favorite character for Core is one we know little about, that being Zoxiana. And that makes for our first match today between Phaler and Core. Core just barely winning out the orb race there with Gilman. Almer gets rid of Gilman.
Alas for Alma.
Snadra banished as well. Gilman now has returned though, and Zoxiana comes in, retrieves the orb, using that Luminous Idol effectively there to refill the stamina,
Their adversaries
and setting up this initial plunge.
now to
Of
the
course, that means no prayer beads, so she's now gone for this round. Dalbert and Almer both banished. Now everyone banished on Phaler's side. Dalbert returns though, but Snatcher leapfrogs over him. Neither player going initially for the orb there, both sidestepping it. But now Core has claimed it. Zoxiana in and around, but blocked. Has it back though,
fire of resolve.
and makes it in for another 20. Stowaway intercepted by Snadra. Snadra hip-hopping around, Though Phaler, applying some extensive pressure here, wins the orb back close to Kor's Pyre and quickly throws it in for 20. Phaler trying to go for a quick attack there as well. Kor up to the task defensively though. Phaler. Dhalmer. Soxiana runs around the defender and in for another 20.
The rite has nearly ended.
Quick play there by the Stowaway, but she's stopped. And now Kor, with anyone other than Gilman, could have enough damage here.
The orb sails forth.
But it's Phaler who scores next. On a Stowaway throw.
Now go.
Tries to follow up with another one of those, but unsuccessful this time. Kor going once again for a Gilman score. That's 3 times in a row now. But Phaler has won it back, and Phaler, oh, intercepted. But Gilman's still over there. His throw still can't land, though. Phaler, oh, nifty maneuver to avoid the defender there. Hop over them and throw it in quickly for 20.
The orb is taken.
Gilman stopped again. Snadra, though, gets rid of the Stowaway. Snadra against Dalbert. Dalbert chases her down. Gilman. Slightly wide of the target. Dalbert hops over and in.
Golden fire. There.
Phaler first to the orb here. Looking for the angle, but can't find it. Teleports back over. Throw intercepted. Kor an opportunity to counterattack. Retreats though with Soxiana. Brings back a teammate. Passes it over to Gilman. Gilman, this time the throw does land, and that does drop Phaler down to 5 Pyre Life, meaning that any Kor's Exiles would have enough damage here. Phaler's not going to go down without a fight. Caught in the corner there, though, with Almer.
Banished from this place.
Stowaway throws it in.
Maneuver.
Now Phaler needs 2 scores to Kor's 1. Phaler somehow avoids banishment there, but his throw is intercepted nonetheless.
Into the adversary's
Luminous Idol on Soxiana, setting her up
the pyre
for the winning plunge.
and such a well-conducted victory it was.
GG.
The ceremony is complete.
And there it was, a matchup with Phaler's favorite exiles against Kor's favorite exiles. And Cacao says he is now available. Phaler, I leave it up to you. I think, you know, you can stick around a little while longer if you'd like. If not, it sounds like we do have someone who's able to swap in for you. We did, of course, just get you in to face off against Kor, though. If you two want to face off a few more times, we could potentially do that before we give way to Cacao. Let us reset our song at the very least. Not sure. Let's see, we have Glade. Okay. Well. 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 I can't possibly anticipate what might be about to happen. Really, any of a number of things could be about to transpire. Really, an infinite number of possibilities. So many, in fact, that even the most powerful of supercomputers could not possibly anticipate what that might be. Do we have anything else that we would like to request here to perhaps further refine the potential outcomes to this upcoming rite? Or do we prefer such an open-ended affair? but seems as though perhaps we will keep things entirely unpredictable with just a Glade of Lou and nothing else.
The fate shall take on the Fire Hearts. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites? Tizo.
Hold on just a second. That wasn't in the script. Core has been utterly bamboozled.
What's funny is I was not even planning on going Void.
I'm sorry, what is Void?
Volfred.
It's a nutrition stick Volfred in the first spot for Core.
Exile.
I was not planning to take it, he claims. It's a leeching stowaway in the second spot. Phalar, after having taken 2 imps. Now opting for a Prayer Bead Sacred Bond Snadra. While Core goes for additional leech on Almer.
Now begin.
That does make for a whole lot of leech in that case, and Core
Was the last of them.
goes forward aggressively with his sap, although loses everyone in the process.
Sandra
The Numbing Gust was active, slowing down Phalar, though he was eyeing that portal, tried to wait to go through. But Core did still have someone over there. And now it is Core teleporting to the orb and jumping in for 20 with the stowaway.
my.
Big implosion from Phalar takes out the remainder of Core's team. Once again, Numbing Gust active, slowing down Phalar. He waits to bring back one of his imps. Snadra can't quite make it in here. Phalar through the portal.
Sad for the pyre.
Numbing Gust active, though he's close enough that he probably could score here if he would like to plunge. And does so with Snadra, as she does have Prayer Beads.
Tis taken.
Almer now for Core is blocked, but he banishes 2 of the defenders. Stowaway teleports the orb and jumps in quickly for another 20 damage.
The
Remember,
pyre
all
hearts are in our favor to prevail.
of Core's savages have leech.
Righteous fire.
Phalar, though, plunging with one of his imps for 15 there. That time, that was Tizo. That was, I believe, the canned Singularity imp. Stowaway over to the other side, intercepted still. Now for Snadra. Stutter steps her way through and in. Volfred. Especially mobile, with that nutrition stick, of course. Though I don't think he has quite that kind of range. Though it doesn't matter, as it is the Stowaway who does the job here.
A show of strength from the Fate's opponent.
And Ulmer,
Glory from old
who
Dolmen.
follows that up.
No more than a lick of flame remains.
Huge implosion there from Tizo. Thaler through the portal to make things a little bit quicker. Though he stopped. Portal is dangerous where it is located, although it is currently Core on the attack here. Thaler accidentally threw the portal, although now there is a sapling that is perhaps spoiling Thaler's fun, although here is Core teleporting to the orb and in.
Fireheart prevail. They vastly outperformed their adversaries.
GG.
The ceremony is complete.
All right, well played, you two. Let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And why don't we reset ourselves as well here? But let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. Will of the Scribes for the song, says Cacao. Anything in addition to that? Or will that be it? What exactly is it that the scribes are willing on this specific occasion? Do tell. Oh, well, we shall see. We shall see, says Anor. We are turning Customize off. Alright then, that covers just about everything. So let's get started. Randomized Exiles, Masteries, and Talismans, just gonna get thrown straight into the action. Won't even get to see what those things are in advance. And
The Fate
a boat
shall now
to
face
boot.
the Pyrehearts.
A worm, a savage, I believe, and was that a crone for Thaler? Then it is Barker, Messenger Imp, and Vorfrit, the crone, on Core's side. As for what the talismans and masteries are, that is a different question, of course, and one that will probably take a little bit longer for us to figure out. Though I do think we saw a Vengeful Vow on Thaler's side from one of his exiles. Though apparently not from Bertrude. In that case, may very well be Gareth there. Somehow,
Has been scathed.
Thaler hopscotched his way through there and got extra damage on that throw. Didn't catch if that was a seized chance. May well have been, as we did just see that pop up. And yeah, Thaler's the only one who has a worm, so that must have been the case then. 20 damage on the Cur Plunge from Barker on Core's end. Oh, the Vengeful Vow was actually on Messenger Imp, I believe. Initially, I had thought that was one of Thaler's exiles who had that. Oh, Thaler inches away from the plunge that time. Thaler, the only one who has an exile at the moment.
Did that one
So Gilman
in?
throws this one in for 15. And Akor has realized that he has the salute for his imp, so he can transform into a Howler whenever he would like.
Sir Gilman flung the orb into the flame.
And Gilman once again with a little more damage there.
There.
And he's back at it once again, though this time that looks short. Black Hoof on Vorfrit. That is not something that Core wanted to see. Then again, it is a customized off match, and therefore it was an obligation for Pyre to give us at least one Cursed Talisman. Oh, just short on that throw, and the orb inadvertently hits Core's Pyre and bounces out. But he can't do anything with it with Vorfrit, as she is unable to pick up the orb.
Now to the
So Core will have to bring someone else in this case,
the flames of
it's Barker. currently remains unclaimed here. Core does eventually get it back. And goes in with Messenger in. Vital Pounce on Birdie, everyone's favorite Crone Mastery. And Gareth unable to outmaneuver the defender on that occasion. Parker in and around for 20 damage on this occasion. Gareth blocked. Gets rid of the defender, but gets taken out in the process. As does Gareth, or rather, Gilman. Again, Black Hoof on forfeit. So she is not posing much of a threat, at least offensively. Gareth gets rid of her, though. Starts moving in. And banished just before making it in. Has the Typhoon Bottle, so he automatically... Wait. Should be Bright Wisp would automatically pass it. Thought we saw Typhoon Bottle, though. Might have been on Core's side momentarily there.
Quite the close call there, no?
Speaking of which, Core, back in possession, has a very dangerous portal that he went through and nearly made it all the way into the pyre upon using it. Portal location change, but still quite threatening. Gareth stopped. Core through that portal and in. Ah, the Valiant Return. Yes, that's what it was before. Oh, and Leech, actually, on Phaler's Worm. Little unfortunate that it is the talisman that gives him 50% of his damage leached back when Worm's not typically known for dealing a lot of damage. Birchroot is, though. 30 damage on the Crone Plunge there. And now, perhaps just one more score, all that Phaler needs here. But now at a numbers disadvantage. And well-timed Stunning Claim there. Making Gareth the only one able to move, at least momentarily. But unable to capitalize on that. Core. Messenger in. One down. Now, Messenger Imp once again. And Barker. No portal, though, for Core to exploit here. Core moving in aggressively there with forfeit. And that is probably the most we've ever seen a worm fly on the boat. That was half the arena. Parker unable to snipe. Oh, and Gilman overshot, but doubled back and in for the winning plunge.
The scribes themselves surely have taken note.
GG.
The rite is complete.
All right, well played, you two. Let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Also, we still need to fix the positions on the boat and pit, I assume.
Do we? I thought that I'd installed that, but perhaps it was not part of the mods package that I was using. Thought I remember that being a fairly easy one to go in and just change manually. Gotcha. Yeah, isn't that one that you can just go in, edit the file, and it's just a couple of lines you can change? Just edit the file directly? I thought I remembered that happening once. Okay, no worries. Alright, well, is there anything that we would like for the next one between Failure and Core? If not, then let's at the very least turn Customize back on and turn off Will of the Scribes unless we want to see some of those things again. I wrote I had a request further up. Let me double check. Let me see. Only plunging scores, no prayer beads or similar effects. So like no built-in prayer beads from the right side Kerr Mastery. Or I guess Triesta's Plume. Plunging only, and nothing that can bring your exiles back from banishment after plunging, basically. Give the players a little bit of time to think that one over. So that is a little more out of the ordinary. But let's give it a shot.
The Fate versus the Pyrehearts. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
So if one can only plunge, the Savage is well known for the throwing capabilities, but they can jump and salute to give themselves good mobility as well. And to clarify, in case anyone autopilots their way to a throw accidentally, do we do the usual method and say, alright, that means the other player gets an automatic score as a free kick, a penalty, if you will?
Exile.
Sure? Okay. Kerfang for Core as well. That is a logical choice, given how we know everyone is going to be plunging. Baylor finishes with the Leech and also the Crone Salute on Bertrude. Core contemplating.
Lendl.
And now settling on an exploding Lendl. That is, in fact, triple Nomad on Kerr's side. On Core's side. But it is Failure getting a starter with 28 damage on that Kerfang plunge from Ulmer, and now the Crone say, hey, you can't do that. And Failure catches himself before he does it.
Now go.
And of course, the reason for the no prayer beads was because now that means Failure is down one exile.
Ulmer plunged into the
But he doesn't mind. In with Ulmer. Another 28, and that means one more is, in fact, definitively all that Phaler would need. As we know, he's not going to have any partial damage throws.
Why, that was all of them.
But everyone down here now. On Phaler's side, so time for Core to flip his way in.
The scribes. Now then,
Almer, ooh. Nearly had enough time and space there. And now it's up to Lendl. But he's taken out, or rather, Hedwyn.
and it is
No defenders left to stop Bertrude, and so she
fate prevail.
gets the winning plunge.
Their adversaries must be
Okay.
crying tears of shame.
I accidentally
All
plunged,
shoulder smash, eh?
The right.
I
is
accidentally
done.
plunged Lendl instead of my 2 leeching.
Oh,
I was trying to get Hedwyn in there. with
Yeah,
the
you're
extra
switching to the
damage.
Kerpang guy.
was your Lendl blue?
Yeah, Lendl was blue. and-
That's really disorienting.
It's why I
Until
don't
the
like the
stars
team jersey color
align.
very much.
Yeah, I know, because I thought it was Hedwyn.
Yeah, I did too at one point, I
Usually
think.
wears blue, but this mod is screwing that over.
Alright, well, let us know if there's anything that we would like for the next one. That was plunging only. Cacao is putting us at the cairn. Is that all? Or is there more? From Cacao or from others? It appears to be it. So let's get this one started then.
The fate shall confront the fire hearts. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
No requests for affecting your team composition here. So it's up to you
Deluge.
to construct your team however you would like to. It is an exploding worm in the leadoff role for Phaler.
Jodariel.
Jody is the selection there for Core. Phaler with a Web Lanthorn Raji.
Ignarius.
Ignarius in the next spot for Core.
Tamitha.
Hematha rounds out the team for Phaler, and we have, okay, 2 demons. Wasn't sure if we were going to see a third and final demon there in the last spot for Core.
Bertrude.
But he goes Bertrude instead. And a large explosion near Core's pyre, and suddenly he is defenseless here. which means time for Phaler, with Siege Chance active, to get some extra damage on that throw and keep all of his exiles for this next round. Oh, and that was odd. Somehow, Pamitha seemingly had about half the usual distance on her cast, and for that reason was unable to get the banishment. Meanwhile, Core pushes all the defenders back, throws it in for slightly less than his maximum, just 28 on that occasion, but did get some leech in the process as well. Here's Phaler with Pamitha, though. Cacao is displeased that Core did not accept his trap. Can't possibly imagine what you had in mind with said trap. Somehow, Core avoids getting banished there. While Phaler with an unblockable worm throw, making it over the defender for 13. But unable to follow it up with another one on this occasion. But does here, and Siege Chance was active, so in fact a little bit more damage that time round. Core, blocked, banished. Phaler dispossessed on his worm. Core caught behind those hockey pucks a little bit there, slowing him down, and perhaps a little bit of that happening on this occasion as well. Pamitha in and around, and plunging for 20.
Into the adversary's flame.
Pamitha over one cast, but still blocked and banished. And Gilman, or rather Deluge, sneaks past one defender, but stopped by the second. Jody. Blocked. But has it back. Blocked again. But third time's the charm. And that dropped Phaler down to just 12 Pyre life. I think we saw that Core has some leech. I'm not sure that Phaler does, though. It was odd. It was almost as if Phaler knew that he had Siege Chance active and was testing to see if he could watch that number go down from 25 to 15. I actually don't know if that happens, if you have already set up the throw. But he has another 25 damage Siege Chance throw here as well. Now another worm throw, and suddenly Phaler is one score away. Now Core does have some leech, so it is possible that Core could get some of that Pyre life back. Granted, if he does that, then the match is probably already over. Here is Core, but he's blocked. Gets it back, but is now banished again. Pamitha flies over the cast. Has it back here, now dispossessed. Unable to banish. Jody elusive, and makes it all the way through. GG.
Adversaries put up quite an effort. The right is ended.
All right, well played, you two. And let's head on back.
Until the next right.
Jody was playing hopscotch there at times. It did feel like that. All right, let's reset ourselves. Let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like for the next one. Excuse me? Excuse me, Core? I did what? I don't think I'm the one pressing those buttons and selecting those teams.
But you're the one telling everyone.
Telling them what? As I previously stated, the number of potential options for your team composition was near infinite. Anor has chosen Exiles. Arokus has chosen Talismans. Oh wait, hold on. Now, what was the order in which people took those things? Because I think it was Anor, Exiles, Arokus Talismans, and then Anor Talismans. I think was the order.
We can move both of Anor's things to the following, right?
Yeah, Anor, do you want to combine your Talismans and your Exiles so that they're happening in the next match together? Okay. So for this one, we'll do Cursed Talismans from Arokus, and then the next one we'll do randomize both Exiles and Talismans from Anor. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Cursed Talismans. Cursed Talismans. Hold on. Hold on, we can do it. We can do it. Core is like, I hate this arena, let's make it even more cursed. The book. Wait, Core, are you one of the people who is not fond of the book?
No, I like the book.
The fate
Core is fine with the book.
shall now face the Pyre Hearts. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
Is, of course, Cursed Talismans. There are 3 of them, and precisely 3, so that means that we are going to get exactly the same selection of talismans from both players. 1 prevents from casting, that's the Black Claw. Heart, when they come back from banishment, 50% chance of coming back with infinite stamina. If they don't, they come back as a Howler, though, and that Howler has no aura, so no defense. And the Hoof, extra stamina, but no can't pick up the orb. Making them potentially just about useless offensively, with one exception. If they go through the painstaking efforts of setting up that character. But both players have those same issues they need to work through and find some way to still make use of those characters even while they are holding those cursed talismans.
Ignatius.
Per Sap. And now Demon for Phaler. Nomad. Demon. And now Imp for Core. Alright, here we are then, with our Cursed Talisman Showdown. How utterly brazen. Now is Core quick enough to take advantage of that brazen manner? I don't think he will be. Back down to 30 damage here. Delbert speeds through though, and that's good for 20. And of course, that is one of the tricks, is remembering which characters have which restrictions, so that you don't find yourself getting caught, expecting to do one thing, and then finding that character doing a whole lot of nothing, as both players have already found themselves trying to cast with a character who cannot do that. Can their opposition capitalize on such opportunities? Perhaps they can here, as Phaler plunges for 30.
A show of strength from the withdrawn foes.
Can't quite hop in there with Dalbert, though. But Phaler is Jody-less. And his other character came back with Black Harp, turning him into a Howler. So plenty of breathing room for Core to not only just make it through, but set up with the Brazen Manor as well on that plunge. And then now with Jody. Just barely made it. I honestly thought I heard the sound effect of Jody getting banished there. Well shielded. And that is a speedy Dalbert, but he is still blocked. Ignarius won't get a chance this time, nor will Snadra. Once again, Phaler has his, I think that is Dalbert who is the one who's turning into a Howler every now and again.
Now then.
But now it's Core who has a Howler for an Exile. In this case, it's Snadra, but Snadra goes down, and he's hoping that this time she'll come back in her usual form.
Dalbert dispatched with ease.
And that she has.
A second
But Core through the portal. Here is Snadra as well. Lining up the throw, and somehow made that past the defender, who seemed to be in position there.
now further their advantage.
Oh, and Phaler, inches away on that attempt. Phaler, I don't believe can pick up the orb there with his sap. But his defense was sufficient. Shoulder smash from Snadra. Gets rid of Jody. Snadra pushing forward aggressively, applying some pressure. But Phaler is unfazed. And it is double Howler, but that means Core cannot defend.
Sublime.
So Dalbert makes it in Howler form.
The right has nearly ended.
The only thing better would have been if that was the deciding plunge.
The fates are banished to the last. The orb flies true.
Now Phaler down to 5 and Core down to 30. It is still possible for either player to win this one with one score. Though for Phaler, it would need to be Jody. Anyone else would come up just shy of reaching that number.
Sandra didn't see that coming.
And here is Jody. She is back. Now does Phaler try to force the issue with her? As Core is momentarily defenseless. But Iki has returned now. Now Core eyeing that portal with Snadra. She's blocked though. Except Phaler took maximum rekindling on his sap. So he is far from done here. His second life bar has a whopping 50. Curse confirmed better in Howler form. You heard it here first. Demon versus Demon. And Ignarius asserts his dominance in a brazen manner.
Best not let this go to your heads, Pyre Hearts.
And now, Phaler is of course on his second life bar, which does mean one score like all that Core needs here, and it's the 720 finish
The Pyre Heart
from Snadra.
a rite conducted with aplomb.
The disrespect.
End this night's proceedings.
GG. Alright, let's head on back.
Until the stars.
In character, to be honest. Alright, let's reset ourselves. I thought I might have heard somebody heading out there. I think
Phaler left.
Phaler is now out, and we had spoken
I
of...
dropped.
Okay. Should we get you back in here, or shall we look to get Cacao in, as I think he had stated earlier?
Sure, yeah, he can go in.
All right. Cacao, are you still interested and available here? As this may be a good opportunity to get you. Get you into the action. Looks like it? Okay. Let's send out the invitation in that case. To one Senor Cacao. Remember Honor's conditions. What were Honor's conditions? Because I don't think I remember them. And Cacao, I assume you're on keyboard mouse here, right? Oh yes! True, true. Right. We'll have the randomized exiles and randomized talismans. Correct, correct. Thank you for the reminder. Let's make sure the Cacao has access to using keyboard mouse. He will be on keyboard mouse. Let's double check. I think Cacao, there's a decent chance these are not the controls that you're looking for. Let's make sure those are set properly for you. All set? All right, then we are going oh yes, accusers today. Let me set you up. And then we will look to Discord for the randomizer. See, we're swapping out Phaler. We are getting in Cacao for Lid's worst nightmare, the Cacao Core matchup, which is the worst possible tongue twister. It has been a while since we last had it, so I suppose we were overdue. But my nightmare has become a reality. Okay. Let's see. Now, as for... Let's see. Our randomized exiles and our randomized talismans. Who would like to get us started? So, I mean, I can do it for you if you'd like, but it is question mark exile and question mark talisman, respectively. Usually when we do this, we go in order. Well, yeah, I guess let's get clarification from Honor. Do they have to do it in order in which they show up here? Like, the first exile that they get, does that have to be exile number 1? And second exile has to be exile number 2, or can they mix and match however they'd like? And similar with the talismans. Do we give them the flexibility, or do we say, no thanks? Looks like it does need to be in the order that they show up here. Okay, so whatever you get first, you're using first. Best of 5, Cacao? Maybe after one warm-up match? Okay. Oh, man. So the warm-up match, in that case, looks like that'll be using these randomized exiles and talismans, and then Core is challenging Cacao to best 3 out of 5. Phaler, are you available for the DMs to confirm that players are sticking to their word when it comes to the stuff they're locking in here? He's just throwing that gauntlet around like a beach ball. Phaler is available for that. That works. Just trying to get everyone used to the structure. All right, all right. Okay. But it looks like... I mean, we do still have this request from Honor here, and it looks like we're not going to count that in the 3 out of 5 anyway. This is our warm-up of sorts. You throw down the gauntlet. You don't throw it at people. Throw it in their face. They can't accept your challenge if you knocked them out. Core's like, what do you mean? Mission accomplished. I've defeated them. That's the whole point. Okay. Well, anyways, it does take a long time compared to blind teams. That is true. But alas, alas. For this one, Core is going. Let's see. He has done talismans first, actually. Or I guess he's going Talisman and Exile to see which ones go with which. That's not going to work. The Goals Bracer on Zoxiana. So Luminous Idol on Zoxiana. No, he got a Luminous Idol Harp, randomly. Manly with Auras' Scale. That's also not going to work. Core's doing a great job of combining exiles with talismans who can't use those exiles. He's doing an amazing job at that. And then did he... What? That was all for Manly. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. He got 3 legendary talismans that he could not use. Oh no, Kerfang is not a legendary talisman. No, that's fine. That's fine. You can take Kerfang. Never mind. Never mind. I thought that was Jomu's Fang for a second. I was like, wow, that is quite a feat. Okay, so let's hold on. Where does that leave us though? That is a Luminous Idol Zaxiana. That is Manly has Kerfang, and Rookie has Titan Tooth. In that order. For core. Manly with the Titan with the Kerfang is an interesting one. Okay, here comes Cacao. Cacao's turn. Oh no. Oh no, that's not a good start. That is not a good start. That is not what you want to see. Volfred with Black Hoof is his lead. That's, okay. We'll see if Cacao can find a way to make that work. We will see if Cacao can find a way to make that work. Then it is, the Nutrition Stick. He already has a sap. He might get a random sap in the second spot, it's possible, but we'll see. 3 saps incoming? Maybe. Oh no. What is happening? What is happening? Okay, so lose... Well, the Nutrition Stick and Fairy Spirit are the 2 other talismans. We'll have to see... Or elect with Nutrition Stick. I'm afraid that does not work. Do we rewrite the... Do we have to redo...
Wait, isn't it Orlek with Fairy Spirit?
But he did lose Bow. The Black Hoof is Volfred.
Yeah.
It's not Nutrition Stick on Volfred.
Yeah, so it's Orlek with Fairy Spirit.
I guess we do. Usually what we would do here is typically we go Exile first, and if we get a talisman that Exile can't use, then we re-roll the talisman. Cacao is doing it in the opposite order, so, you know, do we re-roll the Exile?
But it would be the same thing if you did the Exile first, and then get Black Hoof, and then...
Then we would re-roll Orlek. If we were to do it the same way, we would re-roll Orlek.
No, just... They're just in a different order. It's fine. Like, the list of the talismans is Black Hoof, Nutrition Stick, Fairy Spirit, Raji, and then Volfred tries to pick from the top of the list. And he goes down, basically.
Okay, so I guess Fairy Spirit Orlek, Raji with Runed Band. I'll be honest, I don't even remember what Runed Band is.
That's the ring, one of the rings.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, 1 ring. Is that enough to rule them all? Or do they need 2 to bind them in the darkness? We will see.
Orlek, but there's no respawn.
Alright, so, those are the teams. Randomized exiles and randomized talismans.
The accusers versus the Pirates.
Were we locked in the book and I forgot to reset it? Or was this a random book?
Who shall conduct the rites?
Didn't we just have... Hold on. Now I'm second it. No, that was legit. That was a legit book. Okay, so remember, it is in the order in which they showed up. In the order in which they showed up. Core, or rather Cacao, trying to sneak in a different exile there. No, it is Volfred, not Manly. Yes, he has a cursed talisman. Is there any way to make this work? We're gonna find out. Core, it's Zaxiana, and it was a Luminous Idol. Now that is very fortunate.
Exile.
I mean, that's mostly what I put on my harp anyway.
Fairy Spirit on Orlek. Now that one's a little more out of the ordinary.
I mean, realistically, it's probably the best Fairy Spirit.
He's feeling brazen. Look out. Now, Core, with Kerfang on Manly, question there, of course, becomes, is Core going to try to take advantage of that extra damage from the plunges, or does he settle for what is perhaps a more straightforward throwing approach with the saps, as that is generally much easier to do?
I will try to plunge.
One ring with the imp rather, for Cacao without the other means that it's generally not a great choice. But of course, they are locked into those things they got from the randomizer. And the Titan Tooth on Rookie. And here we are. Oh, I saw you had to go to the pause screen and then switch out. For selecting your team, I'm hoping that for the right itself, you're still good here.
Okay, can you unpause it? I can't.
Okay. So I'll give you guys a countdown. I'll go.
Well, just unpause it real quick, just see if...
Just test.
Okay.
Okay. Shall I count you down?
Yeah, you just count down.
Okay. So I'll give you a 3, 2, 1, go. I don't go. You go. 3, 2, Cacao. 3, 2, 1, go. Also had to delay a little bit as Cacao decided to throw a salute in there as I was about to say go. But anyways, here we are with our randomized teams. Cacao cannot pick up the orb with his leading exile, which is a tricky situation to be in. But Cacao makes it in with his imp for 15. That means no Raji for this round, though, but here comes Orlek. But he banishes the entirety of Core's team before plunging himself.
Shall the accusers press their luck, perhaps?
Oh, and Cacao couldn't hold the shield long enough to fend off that cast. Neither could Core. Cacao currently with just Raji, trying to bide enough time to get some reinforcements here, or just go straight in with Raji. Found the opening and seized upon it.
Now then.
Core blocked. Blocked again. Orlek just barely avoiding that cast. Blocked this time, and now banished, and that means a very long wait before Orlek returns. Oh, and look at that last second save there from Cacao. And now everyone gone once again, and long time until they return. Core is thinking about maybe trying to get a throw off instead of just going in with a plunge on an uncontested pyre. Will his patience pay off? Perhaps not, as now Orlek has returned with the orb. He is immediately taken out. Exploding saplings from Core, still not enough to take down Cacao's Volfred, though, and Cacao returns the favor. But Cacao, remember, cannot do anything offensively with Volfred by himself, though. So he is forced to wait for the character with the longest respawn time, Orlek. But here he is. Very long round, as this is the second time Orlek has been banished and returned, if not more than that. He's down once again. Numbing Gust slowing Core down, but just Volfred back defensively here. Oh, and Cacao tried to use the Exploding Sapling to stop Core from throwing that in, but Core was just quick enough to get it off in time. And now follows up with quick score there from his harp.
The Pyre Heart's pyre now burns relatively brighter.
But at least for Cacao, he's in a round in which he can use both Orlek and an Imp, though that's still not enough to stop Core here. And that was nearly the deciding point from Core, but there is, oh, the Fairy Spirit taking effect, giving the infinite damage to Orlek, and that is a scary sight to behold. But Core snakes his way in to take the win.
Or you could say they managed to avoid defeat.
GG.
The rite is ended.
If Cacao lets Orlek go to therapy, does his banishment time decrease? It's a good question.
Until the next rite.
Because as everyone knows, the most powerful character in Pyre is Orlek after coming back from therapy.
Okay, Cacao, best of 5 time.
Alright. Well, in that case... Oh no, says Cacao. Alright, so this will be best 3 out of 5. At the start of each match, both players will send in the teams that they are locking in preemptively to our third party, Phaler, once they've done so.
We're gonna do paired picks. So like, we each do one pick blind, and then we each do the next
Yeah.
blind. So we get to see each other's first pick and second pick.
So Cacao, you will basically send a DM to Phaler on Discord saying all the things that you want on your first character. Core will be doing the same thing. And then once you have both selected what you want for that first character, Phaler will give us notice. He'll say, okay, both players are ready. Then you'll both select that character. And we'll see what those characters are. Then, second character will do the same thing. You send in all the stuff you want in your second character to Phaler. Core will do the same thing about his second character. Once you've both confirmed, Phaler will let us know. You both will select your second character, and same thing for the third character. So, as Core said, each of you one character at a time, informing us as to what you're going to take, and once you've both locked in, then we'll proceed.
The stages, the first one is random, and the ones after that, the loser picks, but you cannot pick one that you've won on.
First stage, random. And from there on out, the losing player of the most recent rite gets to choose the stage. But if you've won on a specific location, you cannot go back to that location. Any formats with banned, exile, / talismans?
Orlek is banned.
Orlek is banned.
And I guess like triple curse and double curse.
Yeah. Well, triple curse technically we banned. We didn't actually ban double curse, but debatable.
Well, let's do that. And then the other thing is that one worm tech, but oh yeah, saps of course, but
oh yeah, triple sap, technically.
we can talk about double, but I think, and Orlek is definitely banned. Yeah, but I think that the problem with triple sap is that it limits the other person. Right? So probably doubles 2 saps is the only amount you can take
Yeah, I mean,
to make it fair.
And in that case, part of me is wondering, like, who would legitimately be, for competitive reasons, choosing triple saps, but then again, crazier things have happened, I suppose.
We've thought about that, Aerokiss, and we've like experimented with stuff, but there's just not enough like classes to like ban stuff like that. And if you just ban a character, then I'm just gonna pick the same class.
Alright. But anyways, let's get this one started here. The first in a 3 out of 5 series between Cacao and Core. Oh. And starting dramatically at the fall of Solium, no less.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
So before you pick, send a message to Thaler on Discord with the character, masteries, and talisman that you would like to take with your first character. Core will do the same. Once you have both confirmed, Thaler will let us know that you are both ready to go, and you may both start selecting said character, and then we'll do the same thing for character number 2 and with character number 3 as well. That way, we are minimizing the effect or the advantage that player 2 would have, and that they can always counter whatever it is player 1 is taking.
Well,
So once both players are good to go, we will proceed, but they are planning out what they would like to do here. Have we figured out that bug with the saluting stuff?
I think we fixed it, but I don't remember how it works. And I don't know if it's fixed on your new setup. But it might be. I'm logged in, Cacao, so whenever you're ready.
Core says he is ready to go. Pick one, all locked in, okay. Cacao, you are good to go whenever you're ready. Both players have said what they want to do, so you may begin. That meaning you can take exactly what you sent to Thaler, but nothing else. No last-minute switches. So what is it that Cacao was thinking about doing? It was Volfred with Leech and Maximum Rekindling on Core side. It's Gilman with extra jumping distance from Auras' scale.
I'm not looking,
Oh, yeah, don't take your character. Well, there you go. It's just a random exile that he's clicked here, and not one that he's allocated any points on or selected any talismans or anything like that. But yeah, once you've sent in your team, wait until we get the go-ahead from Phaler telling us that both players have selected. Otherwise, theoretically, Core could counterpick you.
I think I have my whole team, so it's fine. Okay, I'm locked.
Core says he is locked in, and assuming that Cacao is as well, that would seem to suggest that, Cacao, if you are ready, you may begin. Though, not heard such from Phaler just yet, so maybe Cacao is still planning things out here. Maybe he was just trying to catch the names of the masteries and what have you before he sent over the message to Phaler. Ah. Okay. I mean, I've verbally explained this at least 2 or 3 times now.
Just choose.
But you are sending your... For specifically this character, you are sending the character, the masteries. Okay, Cacao, this specific character, character number 2, send Phaler a Discord message telling him just the character you want, the masteries that you want on that character, and the talisman that you want on that character. That's all you're doing on this occasion. Character, masteries, talisman.
I showed an example of my first character.
Example there in chat with Core. Character, name of the, or location of the masteries, first on the left, first on the right, third on the right, fourth on the right, and then the talisman there. That is, I think, what he took on his first character. So basically sending a message like that to Phaler, and once you've done so, that locks you in, meaning that once you've decided that, you have to take that. You can't say one thing and then take something else. And the reason why we do that is so that players can't counter what the other person is playing, because you know, Core is always going to see what you take before he has to choose his team, so he could just deliberately counter any and everything that you do, giving Core an advantage as player 2. So this is a way to avoid that happening. Yeah, it's a little bit of a middle ground approach rather than locking the entire team at once. This way, it does give players a chance to at least, after seeing the first exile, make some adjustments with their second exile and third exile, while at the same time still minimizing the advantages that player 2 would have. Because on the other end, if players sent in their entire team all at once, then, I mean, it is, you know, both players going in completely blind in that case, but less ability to adjust. Yeah, and some more potential for you to just lose at the onset of the match. You know, if your opponent has one very specific setup that and okay, locked in for character number 2. So Cacao, you may proceed. So yeah, you know, there's some odd team compositions where if you know that it's coming, there may be some very reliable ways to defend against it, but that requires that you do the thing it takes to defend against it, and if you don't have that way to prevent your opponent from doing whatever it is that they're trying to do, then it may be a very effective setup. You know, gimmicky things that are amazing when they work, but quite weak when they don't work. Those are the kind of things that can be tricky.
I locked in my third, so Cacao, you can just take.
Alright, Core is all set. So Cacao, you can just take whatever you'd like here. He has already sent his message. I mean, if you want to triple imps, you can always triple imps. Alright, here we are with our final selection, so we are ready to go here. First match in this best 3 out of 5 series between Kakao and Core, so of course that means the score currently stands 0-0. But we will see how they fare. And it is Kakao getting us started with none other than a Sap Plunge. Not something you see every day, especially not on the Fall Solium, perhaps the least common arena for Saps to be doing plunges, as it is the largest arena by most accounts. And Kakao trying to get through that portal, although decides against it as he had a lot of room to make it toward Core's Pyre there, but not quite enough to make it all the way through. Core stopped just in front of the Pyre, and Kakao needs to be mindful not to accidentally go through that portal, but does get the infinite stamina from doing so. And, ooh, look to sneak around by switching into his imp there. Now is a very dangerous portal, but he is defenseless on this occasion, and if Core is to score, which he does, and leeches as well, that portal is reset. So I'm afraid Kakao's efforts were for naught on that occasion. Oh, and the entirety of Kakao's team taken out there.
Gertrude's aim was true. The orb.
Core taking it slow there with Gilman. He's taken out as well. Tamitha switches in, sets up a dangerous portal. Tamitha thinking about that portal, but so is Core. Tamitha waits to get the stamina back, has it now. Switches in. Tizo banished, but once again sets the portal. It's still dangerous, but perhaps not as dangerous as it once was, as it is close, but not right in front of the Pyre any longer, although still good enough to set up a near instantaneous Volfred plunge on that occasion. Kakao had done the calculus, but Core hops over the defender, gets 15 on that worm score. Gilman back at it. Volfred again. Lead he has been Kakao's leading scorer thus far.
No law against throwing in the orb.
But Core whittling away there with Gilman. Zoxiana, or rather Tamitha again. Volfred one side, Tamitha the other, although Volfred now down. Tamitha waiting for the right opportunity, or perhaps it was Volfred all along. Core retreats, only to dash back in and over the Pyre, seemingly. Through the portal goes Tizo, but he's not close enough to throw it in, at least not from there. But now he is. Tamitha has it back. Eyeing the portal. Oh, but Core saw it coming. Leaps in. But there's the rekindling, and it is the full 50 for Kakao. But Core has some leech, and so, despite Kakao having scored on a few occasions, Core still standing at over 100 Pyre life, and Core, very small little bit of damage there from Gilman with a quick 5 damage throw. Tamitha again. Blocked. Volfred shielded though. Tamitha back on it. Switches over to Tizo. Switches back. Sets up a portal in process. Tamitha debating whether to try to retreat and use that portal. But in the meantime, Core has intercepted and gone straight in. Usually we see Core throwing it in, but now that means Core does not have his worm, but it may not matter here, as he has used his Crone Salute
The Pyre Heart prevails.
to finish the job.
Most excellently done this time, I must admit. The rite is complete.
GG. Well played, you two. Thaler says he must go. And so if we are looking for someone to be the recipients of these teams that you all are sending and locking in, then we may either need a different third party or it may need to be me, which will mean I'm gonna have to tab in and out a lot more.
Yeah, I'm experiencing some like missed like inputs as well, so I'm not sure if it's the game or if it's remote play. It doesn't normally happen though, so
Yeah, I mean that is, I mean
maybe
you've
it
been,
was a double tap as well, but
yeah, I mean you've been in for a while now, Core, and was that happening before these
No,
past
like,
couple of matches?
I think it's a keyboard related.
Right, that's what I'm getting at. It seems like, you know, the key thing that has changed here is that now we have someone playing on keyboard mouse on the other side, whereas that was not the case before.
Yeah.
So that may not be a coincidence.
You can maybe try swapping players, like positions. I don't know.
Yeah, did we... I thought at one point we might have found
Yeah,
that
that's a
was
quick fix,
a
but
factor. And, you know, if it is as simple as that, then why not at least give it a shot?
Yeah.
Let me just swap your
we
names
could just
around as
test
well.
it as well, but
Yeah. You know, at least see how this one plays out. Let's see. Do.
So Liz, are you good to check Discord, or do we want to get someone else?
It would be great if we could get someone else, just so that I don't have to tab in and out all the time, because also, I guess I'd have Discord over here, so then the other person can't see the thing that
Yeah.
your opponent is sending and whatever. Like, I mean, I could do it, but...
Can Anor do it?
Anor, would you mind being our mediator? Anor is also going soon. I mean, I can do it. If we don't have anyone else who's available.
iRotor, maybe? Okay, iRotor can do it.
Okay. In that case, rather than sending your information to Thaler as he is heading out, send your information to iRotor instead. Okay, so now Core leads the series 1-0, best 3 out of 5. So that means if Core wins 2 more, he wins the series. Cacao, of course, needs 3 more. Cacao, you may choose the arena. If there's one in particular that you would like. If not, we can just leave it on random, if you don't have a preference. If he wants a glade, then a glade it shall be. Alright. So, let us commence, in that case, with game number 2 in the best 3 out of 5 series between Core and Cacao.
The Pyre Hearts shall confront the accusers. Welcome.
And once again, this time,
Who shall conduct the
send
rites?
Exile, Masteries, and Talisman for your first character. So, one character with all of their Masteries and a Talisman. Send that to iRotor. There we go. Okay, we've got it locked in. We are ready to go. So, Core, you may begin whenever you are ready. See what the players have chosen on this occasion. Of course, Core was successful in the first match of this series, and therefore may
Sir Gillen.
opt to keep things relatively similar this time round. Then again, we have gone from the largest arena to arguably the smallest. So that may have changed some things, as Cacao now going with a power casting Lendl. Once again, for your second player now, send in your team compositions to, or your next character specifically. Character number 2. Character, Masteries, and Talisman for your second character, Two-Eye Rotor. Once they are both locked in, we will proceed here. And we are locked in. For character number 2, Core, whenever you're ready, you may commence. Core chose an Ashen Coal Snadra for the extra starting Pyre life. And in Cacao's case, went for a Lady River. Now, your third and final selection, send those in to Two-Eye Rotor when you are ready to go. Both of you, we will see what it is that you've selected in that last spot. And we are locked in for the third and final team member. Core, you may proceed, and Core will choose. Wait. What? Oh? Hold on. Did we have an issue? Had Cacao locked in? Obviously, Core has now shown his cards. Forgot the talisman? We'll allow it. We'll allow it on this occasion. It's trying to, simulate a tournament-like structure, but, we don't have to be super strict on this occasion anyway. There's no real stakes here, other than pride. Power cast from Lendl. Takes out Gilman. Stowaway down. Her false step, though, brings her back, and she throws it in for 20 here. Gilman. Exploded on everyone except for Manly. And the stowaway just goes straight in this time. Over Manly. Gilman blocked, but explodes. Lendl. And Lady River. Both taken out. Typhoon Bubble, though, will slow down Core. He waits. Are you frozen, Core? No, he's not. Okay.
My controller just acting out.
Okay. Core launches it in, but slightly short there. Lendl by himself, at least until Lady River returns. Lendl perhaps will do it by himself while he is stopped. So he won't this time, at least. Lady River speeds ahead with that infinite stamina. Quick enough to get off this throw.
Now to the flame.
Core blocks. Lendl on the move. Power casting to clear out some space. Sidesteps one cast. And threads the needle there. 20 damage and some leech as well from Lendl.
The orb is up.
He was gone though after plunging, so a little more space there for Core to maneuver. Get in that 8 damage throw with Gilman, who stopped this time. Lendl back, passing it back to Manly. A valiant return though from Lady River. Don't think she has the range to get that throw off though. Stowaway, speaking of throws, she's intercepted. Lady River through the 2 defenders and in with an unblockable 15 from that throw.
Fire's flame.
Well cast from Lendl. Stowaway, though, jumps straight in and triggers her false step. And jumps in to the pyre for 20. Lendl, this time his cast is off target. Or with Gilman. Throw intercepted. Lady River can't get the throw off in time. Gilman exploded by the sapling.
Now then.
Gilman back, as is Snadra. Lendl. Around the defender and in. 20 damage, 10 leech. In favor of Cacao. Stowaways. False step and stunning claim. Well timed there from Coral, though still not enough to get the score on that occasion. And here is Cacao now with Lady River. Instead, throwing it in for 15 damage on Core's pyre.
Fireheart's adversaries gained an edge.
Stowaway hops in.
Fates seem to be falling behind.
Cacao anticipating the sidestep from Core and still taking out Gilman, but Snadra started, was taken out as well. As was Gilman, though he has returned already, and Fulfred trying to find a way around, although the quickest character is the valiant returning Lady River.
Precision. Best not given to
That was almost a double banishment there from Lendl. Stowaway, false step, stunning claim. Finds a way through. Dropping Cacao to 12. Now Cacao, of course, does have a sap. Did he take Rekindling? I do not recall. 4. Blocked. Vanishes. Here's Lendl. Lady River. Now with infinite stamina, but still stopped. So this is Typhoon Bottle, mind you, not Numbing Gust. Which may mean that Cacao had gone mostly right side with his sap. So he may have a fair bit of Rekindling in that case. Maybe about to find out, though.
a sacred miracle.
It is, in fact,
Kept
the full
flames
50
alive.
on the second life bar for Cacao. So this one's still close. Stowaway, oh. Fakes out the defender. The throw was short, but then follows it in for a 20 damage plunge. That means no Stowaway for this round, though.
Now burns no more brightly than the other.
Series of blocks. Here's Lady River speeding through. Oh, and momentum taking her in the wrong direction there. Looked like an open scoring opportunity, but throw was off target. So Cacao missed that chance. Oh, but great defensive save there. Quick recovery. Lendl to Lady River. Infinite stamina when she's by herself, and that she is. And now Cacao gets one less than his maximum damage, which means anyone except for Lady River has enough damage here. If it is Lady River and it's full damage, Core would be surviving with 1 pyre life. Core, of course, still fighting here. Plunges with the Stowaway, drops Cacao down to 10. We already are on to Cacao's second life bar. That throw is unblockable, but it's short. And it is only Lendl here, so Cacao plays it safe, has it back, waits for reinforcements, although Core doesn't have anyone back. And so Lendl plunges, and we are tied 1 game apiece.
A narrow
My
victory,
controller
yet
gave out
nonetheless
the
commendable. The right is done.
All right, well, we have leveled the sides 1 game apiece in this best 3 out of 5 series.
Until the stars align.
Alright, let's reset our arena here. Well, in fact, Core, you get to choose. It was Fall of Solium where you had won previously, so that is the one arena that you cannot select. Outside of that is up to you. Oh, choosing to stick with the Glade. Okay, that is certainly an option. So back there we shall go.
The Pyre Hearts versus the Accusers. Welcome.
Alright, once again, send in your teams to iRotor.
The rights.
Once you have both sent in your first character setup, the character themselves, along with the masteries, and the talisman, once you've both done that, we will get the indication from iRotor, and we will see what it is that you both have chosen. Now, both players have won a match. Of course, the previous match took place in this very arena, so by that account, you could make the case that perhaps Cacao would like this match to go very similarly to one that we just saw, whereas perhaps Core would like to mix things up a little bit more. We are locked in. Core, whenever you're ready. This time Core going for the Numbing Gust and Quick Throws on Manly with his first choice. I believe we did see Lendl in the first spot last time for Cacao, so that may be the case for him, at least initially. That he is trying to make this as similar as possible to the match that we just saw. But Core has already changed things up. Once both players have locked in, we will see what it is that they have chosen for their second characters. Last time, of course, we saw a canned Singularity setup. Is that what we will see here from Core? Though, if that is the case, he's, of course, already mixed it up a little bit by taking a sap in the first spot. We are locked in. And for Core, it's a pretty standard Webbed Lanthorn Imp. For Cacao, it is a Typhoon Bottle Speedy Saluting Harp. Now the third and final choice for both players. At this point looking quite different, both on Core's side and now after having seen that harp. Also on Cacao's as well.
Give me a second, I'm gonna go get a new controller.
Okay. So best 3 out of 5 in this series. Both players have won 1 match apiece. Core won the first match at the Fall of Solium, and then followed after by a Cacao victory here at the Glade of Lu, and Core decided it was his choosing to come back here, despite having lost here in the previous match, looking for some redemption perhaps. I have not received word yet from my rotor.
Okay.
Now we're locked in. Whenever you're ready, Core, you may continue. And it's also a harp, same masteries as we just saw Cacao take, though Core chooses a different talisman in his case. It's prayer beads rather than the Typhoon Bottle, is I believe what we saw Cacao take previously, and now Cacao is taking a worm. He had a fair bit of success with the worm last time, though this time go with the Aura's Scale. I can't recall as whether that was the talisman he chose in the previous matchup. Well shielded there from Core, bouncing the cast back at Cacao and banishing one of his characters in the process. Soxiana. Did not have anyone to switch places with when he tried to pull off the salute. Did now, though. And that was a lot of momentum going in the other direction. I'm surprised that Cacao was still able to get that throw, headed in the general direction of the Pyre. There's shoulder smash, stopping Soxiana from making it in. Core trying to move in, get a safe spot to throw it from, and does just that. Wasn't a swap, it was a flex, exactly. Power cast here from Lendl, but once again hits the sapling. It bounces back in his face and not only takes out the entirety of his opponent's team, but also takes himself out for good measure. But he has returned, only to quickly be banished soon thereafter. That was a nifty maneuver. Couple of sprints, then a quick switch and plunge from Manly. But Cacao follows up with an unblockable 15 from Lady River. Once again, big cast from Lendl, shielded, and thrown back in Cacao's face, and Cacao defenseless until Lendl's return here. And Lendl is not a fan of Manly right now. And somehow, Lendl banished while flexing with his salute there. And nearly found a way through a couple of defenders there as well. But it is Core, and it is Manly. But he is taken out. Lendl pushed aside, but not before he passed it over. But Soxiana and Lady River, who she passed it to, taken out. Core moving around, and when you do swap in, the saps like that in particular, although any character I think, sometimes their throws can be a little wobbly, as we saw there, and despite Core seemingly having that on target, did go off to the side, and now it is Cacao getting in with his harp for 20.
Well cast. Banished all of them.
Manly, uncontested, but that Typhoon Bottle active, slowing him down. Trying to get the throw off, and does. Lendl's casts, they've proven destructive. That much is for sure. As for whether they have been more of a threat to Core or Lendl himself, that is a different question, though. Core plunges for 20 and then leaves Cacao with just 5 Pyre life here. Did see him take a lot of rekindling last time, but he had a sap last time to get that rekindling. No sap this time. Means Cacao is running out of time. Core. Making a move with Soxiana. No, she goes down. Lady River again. Another 15. Yeah, the orb is not positioned directly on top of the Exile once they switch in. As I said, it does kind of wobble as it tries to reposition itself, and that does actually affect where the throw goes, at least to a certain extent, as you just saw right there. But Core gets it this time, and in doing so, takes the Game 3 win and a 2-1 lead in this series.
The ceremony is complete.
Have a good night, Nor. Catch you later. See you around, and GG's.
Until the next right.
It is now, as we were saying, 2-1 Core leading the series, and that means if Core's to win the next one, then he will take the series win, whereas Cacao must now win 2 in a row if he is to win the series. Cacao, need to hurry up? Getting late on your end? Up to you to pick. Okay, no worries. Up to you to pick the arena, but play one more? Okay. So Core has to win. We shall see. We're at the pit. Cacao says we're at the pit. And let's get going. Core's like, alright, so it has to be a fast one, huh?
The Pyre Hearts shall take on.
Or Core just loses twice. Really fast.
Who shall conduct the rites?
Okay, so of course, Core has 1-2. To Cacao's 1. As we were saying, that of course means in a best 3 out of 5 series, Core just needs one more win, and that would be the quickest way to conclude the series, of course. If Core is to take a quick win here. We are locked in for our first selection, so Core, you may proceed. For that first selection, Core has chosen to go with an all left side power casting Snadra. Just win. Easy. Simple game. Oh. Look at that. That is a stylish exile. Now players choosing their second exiles here. Once they have both locked in, we will proceed with that selection. Although I think we have seen, I assume we've seen Core take Snadra already in this series. He certainly does take her a fair bit of the time. I don't think he's taken her in the first slot. In this series, at least, so that much is new.
Have I taken Snadra every game? I think so.
May have. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, the first game was Fall. I took it with Crone and Warren. Second was Wild Void. And the third was. Wait. No, I didn't take it last match. No, I didn't take it last match.
Okay. So 2 Snadra appearances. She makes a reappearance here in that case. We are now locked in. Core, you may proceed now with your second selection. Who will be accompanying Snadra? The answer is, of course, Tizo. The standard Webbed Lanthorn set. And it looks like Cacao switching things up considerably here. That is a Vizpaleth with Leech. Was that Leech or was that a Webbed Lanthorn? Now the third, final, and perhaps most significant selection for both players. What direction will they choose to go in here?
Choose.
Is it locked in?
Final Exile's now locked in. Yes, you may proceed. Core chooses to go with an exploding Gilman. And Cacao to take a quick throwing Palmas in the last spot in what could be the deciding match here. Cacao, on one hand, said he probably can only stay up for one more match as he goes off the wall and goes for what was actually a quick throw that only the most stylish of Exiles could ever pull off, although, as we were saying, the only way in which this series concludes with one more match is if this one is a core victory. Otherwise, we would be tied up at 2 wins apiece. So we'll see how exactly that plays out. Core trying to go through his portal and explodes in the process, and Cacao goes off the wall once again. This time, though, he is thwarted.
Magnificent.
And it is Core making it through for 15 damage on an Imp Plunge with Tizo. Now this time it is Core who is getting his casts bounced off saplings and back at him. And a 30 damage throw from Vizpaleth. An uncontested one at that. Gareth, oh, nearly goes with a double off the wall there. Just trying to hug the wall around the defender. Snapper, chase down. Yeah, that's Web Lanthorn that we saw Vizpaleth take. Gareth, oh, tricky trajectory there. But now, Cacao defenseless momentarily, and that's enough time for Core to get into throwing position here. 12 rather than the full 15, so slightly different there, and Cacao once again just changing the trigonometry ever so slightly every time he goes to that wall jump there. Enough so that it is hard to know exactly when and where to expect Gareth to end up arriving. Here he is once more. Palmas. Moving that sapling closer. But he's casted into banishment. Snadver tries going through the portal, but she's instantly banished. Palmas. Quick throw is not quick enough to make it all the way to the pyre. Though he is quick enough to chase down Snadra. But not the second go-round. And she has Leech as well. Beyond just her 20 damage, here's Gareth back at it. Banished on the pyre's doorstep.
Farewell, accusers.
Everyone down on Cacao's side until Gareth makes his majestic return. And nearly with a majestic score. Gareth once again. Beautiful. Core deliberately throwing it off his own pyre so that it would inadvertently bounce off, but it is not enough to deceive Gareth.
The accusers are now favored to prevail.
Gareth again, off the wall again, but stopped. Palmas. Throw is off the mark. Snadra through the portal. And And just enough on the jump to make it in there. Gareth off the wall, but into the welcoming aura of Tizo. Palmas throw. This time does make it for 24. One less than his maximum. Gareth banishes one off the wall and in. Good for 20. And dropping Core down to 26, which means Vizpaleth is the only character that Cacao has with enough damage to finish it with one score. But the Stunning Claim slows Vizpaleth down and allows Core to make a game-saving defensive play. Snadra, banished. Vizpaleth back at it. Orbit inadvertently hits Cacao's Pyre, bounces out to Snadra. Snadra banished, though. Tizo dispossessed. Gareth on the orb, but he's stopped. And just Vizpaleth back defensively. Gareth, though, picks it back up. He's taken out. Snadra blocked. Snadra banished.
Banished each in turn. Thoroughly
Went.
banished.
Everyone down now on Cacao's side until Gareth's return. Snadra over Gareth and in. 20 damage and the leech as well, and now Core has enough Pyre Life that Cacao cannot finish this with one score, even if it is Vizpaleth. Core nearly in there with Gilman, but blocked at the last second. Make that 2 times over. Gareth. Trying to find a creative way around, and does. Still dispossessed. Vizpaleth. Everyone banished now. Is that orb safe for the claiming for Core, or is that within the bounds of the sapling? We may never know. Gareth somehow avoids the banishment by bouncing off the wall and nearly makes it in there, and does eventually find a way through, and now anyone on Cacao's side has enough damage to finish the job here. Including that man right there, Gareth, though he is taken out. Gareth again. Off the wall, but blocked.
The orb is taken.
Snadra, blocked. And banishes everybody. Vizpaleth, back at it. Bounces back the defender, and in! For the winning plunge.
The accusers
And suddenly, we are tied at 2 apiece.
ever so close. Thus end this night's proceedings.
GG. But it does beg the question.
Until the stars align.
Cacao, do you still need to go? It seems he does, so we will have to leave on this dramatic note with the series tied at 2 apiece, the deciding match. We'll just need to find another time. Oh. Yeah. No, definitely sleep. In that case. No worries. Do that. That's important. GG's. A great showing nonetheless. Either way, and we will just have to mark our calendars for the next time we can get these two together and have our deciding match to determine the true victor of this series. We'll return next time for precisely 1 match. Okay. GG's, Cacao. Thanks for stopping by. Good to have you. So hype. Stunning. True. That stunning claim. The game's aiming stunning. Hold on. Let's see what this. Let's check out this clip here. Make it for 24. 1 less than his maximum. Gareth banishes 1 off the wall. Make it for 24. Okay, just off the wall and in. I mean, that is skill. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that, clearly that is an objectively true statement. I don't know if we're trying to imply that that is not the case. It was clearly an objectively true statement. The salute? Okay, now admittedly I wasn't paying attention to the salute. I was just captivated by the awe-inspiring style and skill and beauty of Gareth. That's the important part, if you ask me. I don't know what you're talking about. That's the important part to me. Well, good night, Cacao. Thanks for stopping by. Good to have you. GG's. But that does mean we are in need of someone else here. It is starting to get pretty late here. So we may be looking to wrap up the Liberation Rite in the not-so-distant future, but do we have anybody who could jump in to participate in such a match? Core needs to go soon as well. That may mean we could be looking at a Liberation Rite right here. If there is anyone who can jump in and go straight into a final Rite of the Night, or, you know, I don't know exactly how much time Core has, but maybe we have a chance to do a quick warm-up match, and then into Liberation Rite. Yeah, one or two. One or two. Okay, so do we have anyone else who can hop in here to take on Core for the either last or last two matches of the night before we wrap things up? I think at this point it's fair to say, you know, we've gone long enough that we could get someone else in who's already played today. Especially if you've not played against Core today, that's probably still fine. So if there is anyone in chat who would like to hop in for just a little bit, we can make that happen here. Anyone who would like to do the honors? Just throw this back on real quick. There we go. And while we're at it, before we forget, let's just reset here. Any takers? Nay? Arokus can, but it'll be quick. I mean, Arokus, you were speaking to wanting to see Core at the beginning of the Rite Night. But, you know, it's one thing to witness him as a viewer. It's another thing to witness firsthand in a match directly facing off against him. There's really just no comparison. Because that's the real deal. Watched last week's stream, the one name I remembered. Fair enough. Fair enough. I played the entire stream. Alright, well, it sounds like we can get Arokus in here, so why don't we do that then? Why don't we get Arokus? We had you know, it was a relatively quick time with Arokus previously, so why not get Arokus back in for a little bit here? Invite should be on its way. Yeah, that's certainly not a bad thing to get a new player in for Liberation Rite in their first week. Get them fully involved in all the festivities and whatnot.
We can do a penultimate right there.
I will plunge myself into it without hesitation.
Fantastic. So it sounds like Core is good for 2 more matches if you want to do a warm-up of sorts before. Obviously, you played a little bit earlier today, but that way we aren't throwing you straight into the final match of the night if you want to have a little bit of a chance to reacquaint yourself before.
Can you reinvite me?
Let me cancel that. Resend this. Hopefully that one worked.
There we go.
Perfect. Okay, now, I know you were playing as Nightwings before. You can do that, though for what it's worth, at times, when we've seen this matchup, Pyrehearts against Nightwings, the colors have been close enough that sometimes people will deliberately switch one of the triumvirates just to make it a little bit easier to distinguish.
I can hop over to Chastity.
You want to go Chastity?
Sure.
We can certainly do that.
I like the theme, don't very much like the people.
Fair enough. I don't know, do we have any Tinder stands in chat today?
Yes, sir.
I don't know, that might make you two enemies. That
Well,
might
Nor-
make you two enemies.
Nor plays Chastity whenever we go against each other.
No, but usually it's you though, right?
It's me and her. Like our secondary is always Chastity.
Honor does temper? Does temper sometimes? Think of Honor more as a.
I think it's more likely Chastity, but yeah, I think she'll do tempers every once in a while.
Let's see, there's the Chastity. There we are. Okay, and were you on mouse keyboard or were you on controller, Rokus? I don't remember.
I was WASD.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's make sure we have that. There we are.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. Okay. So,
Does anyone want to screw with this match?
anything we'd like to do for this penultimate match. This will be our last chance to do any requests before our liberation rite.
You can request stuff if you want.
Tempers and True Nightwings do have amazing robes. I would argue one particular character on the True Nightwings, perhaps more so than anyone else, but yes. Yes.
Evil Drip is superior to good Drip.
I mean, are they evil or just misunderstood?
You know, Orlek did nothing wrong.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. True, and Iroder can't take Tempers as his secondary because that would make both his primary and his secondary green. Alright, well, it doesn't seem like we're getting any requests for this one, so let's just jump in for our second to last rite of the night, our last one before our liberation rite. Just doing some advertising for the Tempers because he can't do it himself. Well, we are back at the pit.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
Chastity imp robes are the best. I can't picture the imp robes specifically. Are they more of the yellowy color or more of the pink color when they're going Chastity? It's Pamela first for core.
You know, I was dunking on Manly, but I feel like I gotta put respect on his name.
Always a secondary color? Interesting. Right, it is Manly with the extra starting Pyre life. Ruby would be proud.
Messenger. Imp.
Webbed Lanthorn
Ruder,
Messenger Imp.
That's for you. I'll get some imps in here.
Okay. This is, according to Iroder, the best color imp raiments. Webbed Lanthorn there as well. Last one for core. And it's a Brazen Manor Ignarius. That too I heard. Barker last spot for Arokus, and here we are. Core against Arokus. And it is Barker here. Nearly finding a way past, and yes, finding a way past Ignarius.
I got pushed into it.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, you got dispossessed, and then your momentum took you back toward the pyre, and the orb happened to fall into Barker's paws. That was a plunge there from Messenger Imp. He is now no longer available in this round. Tizo gives it up to Ignarius. Here comes Ignarius. Knocking back one defender. Sets up the Brazen Manor. And makes it through with that active for 40 damage. I believe Core took the leech as well because he's back up to 100 pyre life here. Humongous implosion for Messenger Imp, although that does activate the Numbing Gust. Barker down. Ametha finds a way over the defenders and in. Ignarius patiently waiting for there to no longer be a sapling there before trying to pick up the orb. However, Barker also waiting for that opportunity. Ignarius banished before he can finish that Brazen Manor. Core eyeing the portal, goes through the portal, but is blocked. Though he does now have a dangerous portal even closer to Orokus' pyre. That throw intercepted by Ignarius, who goes through the portal, knocks back the defender, although he's still banished. Well defended there by Manly. Here is Manly. Moving in, and Core defenseless for the moment. Is Manly quick enough? He is. That's good for 18. Ametha thinks better of it after that sapling got placed, as it banishes her. Now Ignarius by himself all of a sudden. And that means opportunity potentially for Orokus here, although Ametha has returned. Messenger Imp through the portal. Ignarius banished. Messenger Imp, huge implosion. Ametha banished. Barker now. Stamina coming back, but blocked. Ignarius. Now Pamitha. Ignarius sets up the Brazen Manor. Pamitha switches to Ignarius, and he hops in for 40 damage and 20 leech. Net 60-point play. Pamitha blocks, and turns around and banishes Manly. Blocked by Barker. Banishes Barker. Throw intercepted. Orb unclaimed. And it's Barker first to it, but he's blocked. Throw from Messenger Imp is 3 shy of finishing the job there. Ametha overcommits, her throw intercepted. And she's taken out. Barker. It pops around and tries to throw, but staggered back before he can do it. Ametha and Ignarius both banished there. But Messenger Imp comes back. Barker against Pamitha. Pamitha over to Ignarius. There's the plunge. But there is 10 rekindling, so Orokus does have a second life bar. But Pamitha sees to it that life bar is taken out.
Empire yet burns with vigor and resolve.
GG.
The rite is complete.
Alright, well played you two. Let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And I think it is time. I do think it is time for our final match of the night, our Liberation Rite. So set us to the Fall of Solium. Sermon intro on, and we would normally go with the Never to Return version of Player 2. Granted, you are currently playing as the Chastity Orokus, however, your preferred team is the Nightwings. So I leave it up to you. Do you want to go with the Chastity Never to Return, or the usual Nightwings version?
I'll put respect on Core's name and have it be of the Pyre Hearts, if that's alright.
Oh, okay, mixing up with the Pyre Hearts, okay. Alright then. Okay, so this will be our final ride of the night. That means no requests for this one. Both players just going to finish things off in style. And without further ado, let's get going.
I bid you welcome, exiles. You stand upon the fall of Solium. You now have this chance to prove yourselves. Know that the scribes themselves are watching. Fireheart, stand prepared. The Chastity, stand prepared. Now let us begin.
Alright, so this will, as we were saying, be the final of the night. Our liberation rite. Core is not letting you
It's not
select
letting
stuff?
me.
Okay, let me maybe just uninvite, reinvite you.
Let
Or
me-
you want to unplug, replug controller.
Let me replug.
But it will be our final run of the night, our liberation rite. No requests from chat for this one. Both players just taking their preferred setups.
Can you move me?
It's saying that you are a weird controller number. It says you're player 2. Let's force you into being player 1. That any better?
Okay, I can do in here.
Alright, tell you what I might do here, Core, is I might just give you keyboard mouse controls so that you can set up your team. Usually when stuff like this happens, once the actual ride itself begins, you can still control.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, I just won't start moving.
Yeah, so let's just give you keyboard mouse controls to select your team.
Go on.
Should be able to do that now. And for Core, it's Gilman first, with the legendary Worm Talisman for extra jumping distance. For Rokus, it's a Meta Jody, quick banishing throws for her. And it's Snadra, with extra starting Pyre Life.
I'm able.
And a Nomad on the other side as well, as Headwind joins Arokus' team. The last selection for Core. That will be a Leeching Vertrude. Whereas on Arokus' side, it's Speedy Rookie. Alright, here we are, our final run of the night. Core on the left representing the Pyre Hearts, Arokus on the right representing
Yeah, I'm good.
the Chastity. Looks like Core is good to go, no problem.
Right, let's go.
So best of luck to you both.
good.
And there it is, at last.
And there it is.
Firehearts proved their worth.
GG.
As for their adversaries, they did not. Thus ends the Liberation Rite.
That was our final rite of the night, our Liberation Rite. Thank you, everybody who participated in the rites today. But that is going to be it for me, so I'm going to duck out of Discord, but I will see you guys next week. Alright, let's also free them from... they know. They know. They both know. They're cool. They know. Alright, oh, let me throw this screen on as well, though. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream. This is, of course, Pyre Community Rite Night. My name is Lids. I'm hosting these Rite Nights. We're doing these Rite Nights every Sunday night. If you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, that is the best way to do so is by joining the Rite Club Discord server, where we are coordinating all of these things, which you can do by clicking on that link right there. But as for me, my streaming schedule right now is Fridays we are doing Mass Effect Andromeda, the campaign, whereas on Saturdays we're doing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. Sundays, of course, Rite Night. Then Lids Vids on YouTube as well, posting the VODs for all those streams, so if you missed anything, you can catch it there as well. Also doing some Gwent videos, the Witcher-themed card game, as well as some Thronebreaker, the Gwent campaign, all of that on YouTube. And if you haven't done so already, you can also hit the follow button to get notification when I'm live. Also follow me on Twitter, @LidsVids. I post everyone live as well. But actually, the best place to stay up to date on all things Lids is by joining my own Discord server, which you can do by clicking on that link right there. But that's going to be it for me for tonight, so thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll catch you next time.